Hi, I'm Sue Daley and welcome to Just Like a Jigsaw month 4. This month, or this video, we're going to be working with 2-inch hexagons and 2-inch half hexagons. So what I'm going to do is cut out, well, I've already cut the shapes out, so we've got 2-inch hexagons and some half hexagons. So I've used a new range of fabric from Riley Blake and I've fussy cut these. So you'll see the examples when I'm done as to what's happened after I fussy cut them. So I'm just going to glue them just to show you what I'm doing. Some people get a little bit worried about corners and things, so I'm just going to run through this again because it might be the first video you're watching. So we're going to just glue onto the paper, keep the glue away from the edge. And the reason I say that is because if you glue right up to the edge, when you go to sew it together, you're going to struggle getting your needle through because there'll be glue right on that very edge and it's hard to get the needle through, and we don't want you to struggle with that. So keep it away from the edge a little bit. Just pull it in nice and firm. You're just doing one side at a time, not too much glue. Last side. I always put a tiny little bit on the fabric that's folded there just to hold those corners in nice and sharp. So there we've got the 2-inch hexagon. This fabric is actually, I was looking at it closely before, and it actually looks like tatting. It's like it's the patterns all over the fabric looks like old tatting. It's really neat. I love it. Now the other part is the 1/2 inch, the 2-inch half hexagon. So it's basically just your hexagon cut in half from point to point, not the half from straight edge to straight edge. So pop that onto your fabric. Again, gluing on the paper, keep it away from the edge a little bit and working around. Not too much glue. And on 2 of these points you're going to have little tails and 2 you won't. So these 2 at the top are folded in nice and neatly, and these 2 at the bottom here, you're going to have these little tails. Don't get too concerned about those. Now putting these together, there's a number of ways you can put these shapes together. In your month 4, which is this one, and this is the one you'll be receiving for month 4, and then of course on the back we give you a couple of variations of how to put these shapes together. The pattern on the front you can see, and you probably won't see that very clearly, but when you get yours you can see how we've created a pattern just by putting colour in different places and forming a pattern within the pattern. So there's so many things you can do. So with this one, we can put these in a number of ways. So this shape, these shapes, I'm going to put the small side of the half hexagon into the middle. Now I've alternated these and I've cut 3 of each design, and I've popped it around just like that. So I'll just tip that up a little bit so you can see it. So I've done 3 in one fabric and 3 in another fabric. So it creates a different effect. So we have this little scallop effect. It's actually the top of a heart shape, and then it's got this very fine lace pattern all around the outside of it. Now that's one way you can put it together. This one over here is another 2-inch hexagon, and we're going to lay them around. So pop a 1/2 inch hexagon down and then lay these around. I've alternated the colour again. Oops, I think I've done the wrong thing there. Let me get my hexagon in there. I'm going to pop him in there, around here, here, and here. So you can see it's like they're offset a little bit. So if you were looking at this, we'd be sewing our shape from the top point of the corner of one hexagon, halfway right to the point of the hexagon on that same side, but halfway along the long side of the half hexagon. Can you see that? And then this one just fits up, in there. And again, there's no rhyme or reason or rule of thumb, rules of how you put it together in order, any sort of order. You can just sew it any way you want. And just make sure you do that extra double stitch at the points and start and finish with your neck knot. So you've got a number of designs there. Now, what to make with this? There's a lot of things you can make with it. You can make it up into a whole quilt, like is shown on your little page layout here with the that you get with your jigsaw, which is much the same as this, but we just make lots of blocks and sew them together. So here I've just done this with red, white and cream, red, cream and blue, sorry, and you can just keep making the blocks and sewing them on. You might want to make a pincushion. So if you were going to make a pincushion, you could just sew these shapes together. You could sew the other side in this combination that I've got down here, right sides together, sew it up, and then fill it with fibre fill, pop a button through it or not, and you've got a fairly substantial pincushion. So there's lots of different things. You might want to just pop this into the centre of a cushion and decorate a cushion up. Or you might want to just do blocks on a quilt. Instead of doing it all sewn together like that, you might just want to do individual blocks and do each block different and fussy cut each one of them and then applique them onto one block, and have all different colours, and then you've got a whole quilt just with blocks, with your hexagon block sewn onto a background block. So there's an amount of things you can do, and again, when you, as you're moving through the program, you need to be looking at your shapes and having a look to see if you can put other shapes that you already have with the shapes that you get each month, to see if you can come up with other designs. And that's the idea of the program, is just about playing with paper shapes and learning about what goes with what, and just like a jigsaw. So again, you can, if you're watching this video and you are not enrolled into a jigsaw block of the month, there are many shops around the world doing this program. And you can contact us at Busy Fingers, email us, drop us an email, and we can put you in touch with somebody who can sign you up to a program. Each month you would get fabric, papers, templates, and one of these little flyer things. So it's going to tell you what you do, and the very first month you'll get a nice folder that you can put everything in, that you can keep everything nice and safe in, and enjoy the journey. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.